adding matrices together. So whenever you have a matrix, you're pretty much going to have a box of numbers. And that box is going to have so many rows and it's going to have so many columns. So for this first one over here, I know that this matrix has two rows, right? Here's the first row, here's the second row. So I know it's got two rows. But then it also has columns, and these are going to go up and down. So here's the first column, 1, 3, and here's the second column, 2, 4. So I know for a fact that it has two columns. And I always write the row number first and the column number second. So what you'll notice is the first matrix is a 2 by 2, and this matrix over here, this is also a 2 by 2. So whenever you add matrices together, or whether you're subtracting matrices, what you want to make sure of is you want to make sure that they share the same dimensions. Because if they share the same dimensions, you can add those and subtract those together. But if the two matrices that you're working with, they don't have matching dimensions, then you won't be able to add those or subtract those. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add these 2 by 2s, and when I get done, I should have a 2 by 2 over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to red, and I'm going to circle the first numbers. This number right here, and this number right here. And I'm going to add those together, because the plus on the outside tells me to add. So 1 plus 5 is going to give me 6. And I put that in the top left. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle the next number. The next number is 2 and 6. So now I'm going to add those up. 2 plus 6 is going to give me 8. I put that in the top right. And then we're going to do the bottom row. I'm going to circle the first number and the first number. That's 3 plus 7. That's going to give me 10. And then I'm going to change my color for the last time, and I'm going to circle the last two numbers, 4 and 8. They're going to add up to give me 12. And then I'm done. All right, let's look at this matrix. Now, both of these are going to be 3 by 2s. Both of these are going to be 3 by 2s. Why? Because they have 3 rows and they have 2 columns. So let's circle the first two numbers and go from there. I circle the 2 and I circle the 6, and that's going to give me 8. So I'm going to have an 8 at the top left. Next, I'm going to circle the numbers that lie right next to them, the -3 and the +2. If I add those together, I get -1. And then I move on to the next row. I circle the 0 and the -4. They add up to give me -4. And then I circle the 5 and the 5. They add to give me 10. So then the last row is going to give me 10 plus 0. That's also 10. And then I have -6 plus 17. That's going to give me +11. And I'm done. So that's adding matrices. You can add a matrix to another matrix. Just make sure they're both the same dimensions before you add up or if you subtract. And then make sure you're adding up component-wise, meaning you circle the first two numbers and you add those. Like for this first example up here, you've got 1 plus 5. It wouldn't make much sense to add the 1 right here to the 8 down here, right? So that's why you always want to add up numbers that are in the same position component-wise. And I hope that helps.